Hold on just a second. Let me get everyone going here. Make sure I got everybody in. Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to Ask the Nannies Recipes Galore. Today we are going to be cooking some lollipop chicken, and we're going to be cooking some roasted broccoli. My husband requested that again, so this week. We're going to be making some roasted broccoli and some quick style cream of corn. This is one of the recipes that I use on Thanksgiving. Last week, I told you that I would be joining you every week from now until Thanksgiving, making something that I make in my Thanksgiving dinner. So if you want the recipes, you can follow along and you can get the recipes. So by the time Thanksgiving gets here, you will have a Thanksgiving meal. Okay? So first, we're going to get started by turning on our oil. I have some oil in this pot over here that I'm going to turn on. And I have already cut up my chicken. Hello, Courtney. How are you? Hello, Inspiration with Misty. How are you? Thanks for joining me. Hello, hello, Wendy. How are you? Thanks for joining me. Um, and let's see. Hello, hello to everyone on not Instagram, but on Facebook and on YouTube. How are you? Hello, let's play and learn. So good to see you. Okay, so we're going to get started with our lollipop chicken. I'm going to show you what it looks like. I cut off this end right here. Let me scoot this back a little bit because there we go. So everybody can see. I cut off this end. Let me show it to you. I cut off the end just a little bit. Hello, Open Heart Nanny Agency. How are you? Happy Sunday to you, Courtney. And I trimmed off the end part here. I just cut around the chicken and just peeled it off. So cut both ends. You need to cut this end so it will sit just like this in your skillet of oil. Okay. Hello, Coco Kisses. Hello. Thank you for joining me. Okay. So if you're joining me over on TikTok, can you double tap the screen and send me some likes so some more people can join me? I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So we're going to get started with this. And the first thing we're going to do, I forgot my buttermilk. Hold on. Let me grab my buttermilk so I can mix this up. Buttermilk, buttermilk, buttermilk. So I am using a chicken fry. This is the chicken fry that I'm using. It's made by Louisiana fish fry products. But this is chicken fry batter. And it's already seasoned. Let me wash my hands because I got chicken all over this hand. And I don't like cooking with chicken juice all over my hands. So let me wash and dry my hands and put on some gloves. So as I'm handling this, it won't be. Now, I've already poured my chicken fry in a bowl. This is going to be my dry dipping bowl. I have added, even though it's seasoned, I've added some of my favorite seasonings to it. I've added some Lowry seasoned salt. This is the black pepper seasoned salt. Okay. And I have added some Mrs. Dash lemon pepper. Now, I added more lemon pepper because I want lemon pepper wings. And this doesn't have added salt to it. So that's why I added it in there. Okay. Now, I have here 5 tablespoons of the chicken fry. And I'm going to mix. Let's see how much it says. Now, on the box, it says to mix it with half a cup of ice cold water. Well, I like the buttermilk because it gives it a different flavor. So I mix mine with buttermilk. So I'm gonna mix this with a half a cup of ice cold buttermilk. So I'm gonna pour this in here and I'm gonna mix this up. This is gonna be our dipping sauce. Okay. Now let me see if in order to see if my grease is ready, I'll sprinkle a little water in there. And when it starts to pop, I'll know that it's ready. Okay. In the meantime, I'm going to mix this buttermilk and the chicken fry. I'm going to mix it up so I can dip the chicken in there. And then we're going to dip it in the powder so it come out crispy and crunchy. There we go. I don't want any clumps on here. And if you have too much chicken, have chicken left over, just mix up some more and dip it in there. So this is what it looks like in my bowl. Let me show you what it looks like in my bowl. Hi, Brianna. I got my Christmas cookies coming from Astonani. Yes. Thanks for joining me, Same Team Childcare. This is what it looks like in my bowl. Okay. Now, I am going to, do y'all hear that? You might not be able to hear that. But the water that I put in there, it's popping, which lets me know that my grease is hot enough for my chicken to go in. Now, when I put my chicken in there, I turn the eye down so it won't pop up everywhere. So I'm going to turn this down for a minute until I get my chicken in there, and then I'll turn it back up, okay? I don't like to get popped by hot grease. I don't know about y'all, but I don't. Hello, I am Miss Arthur. Thank you for joining me. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my chicken, and I forgot to put my gloves on. Y'all forgive me. Let me get my gloves. Let me dry my hands and get my gloves on, because this can get messy. Let me grab my gloves. Be careful when you're working with gloves that you don't get too close to the heat, because they will melt and burn your hands. So, just a little tip from someone who's been there and done that one too many times. I love cooking, but I love cooking safe, but I don't like burning myself. So, just a hint from the wise. Or should I say a hint from somebody who's been there and done it. All right. So I'm going to take my chicken and I'm going to dip it in here and just kind of roll it a little bit. Make sure I get it all nice and coated. And shake the excess off. And then I'm going to take my dry mix and I'm going to roll it into my dry mix. And this is going to make it extra crispy. Okay? I'm going to roll it in my dry mix just like so. Get it all nice and coated. Throw some on top. Okay. Now, this is ready to go in the fire. Let me let you see it before I put it in there. See what it looks like? I like to let you all see it before I put it in the fire. Okay. Here we go, y'all. Now, we're just going to continue with the rest of these, rolling them over, and we're going to put them in the fire. And we're going to have us a nice, crispy, crunchy lollipop. Ooh, okay, here we go. Lollipop chicken. Now, you see how I stand them straight up? As I add them to the fire, the grease is going to rise. I don't want the oil to rise up above the rim. So I'm going to keep an eye on it and make sure it doesn't rise up above the rim. All right. Let's put that in the middle. Add some. There we go. Twist it over. And here you go. Now I'm standing them straight up so they'll cook that way. When I get ready to take them out, I'm going to flip them over and I'm going to scorch the bottom end, because the last thing you need is to be eating something raw. I don't want you to put it raw in your mouth. So we're going to scorch the end so it doesn't come out that raw meat that I took off of there. Just in case there's a little bit still on there. I don't want to be eating raw meat. So I'm going to make sure that I get the end to make sure it's not raw. Hold on, let me turn this around that way. There we go. I'm going to put one more in there because I think that's all it's going to handle. And then we'll get started on our corn. Okay? There we go. Shake all the excess off. Put it in the middle. Roll it around and throw some on top of there. Roll it over and throw some more on the back. And yes, I'm making a mess, but it's my kitchen, so I can do that. All right. And okay, let me turn you around. Oh, that doesn't go up. There we go. Now we get done. Okay, I'm going to take my gloves off right quick. And we're going to get started on the corn. Now, this is the quick method that I do with my corn. I got flour in my skillet. Let me rub that out. This is a quick method. I use 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm just going to drop it in the skillet and let it start. And 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. Okay. Got 1 cup of heavy whipping cream going in. And we're going to put just a little bit of sugar in there. About a tablespoon of sugar. I want to take some salt. I like the salt and pepper to taste. Hey, Nats. Thanks for joining me. Hello, me BC. Crispy. Yes, it's going to be crispy. I like to salt and pepper to taste. So I'm just going to put a little in here now while I'm cooking. And I'll add some more later if I need it. I'm going to put a little bit of pepper in here. Now, I like the pepper, the grinders with the salt and the pepper. It has a lot more flavor to me when it's fresh cracked. Let me turn you over this way. Flip you over this way. I'm just turning the chicken, y'all. All right. I just put a little in there. Let me wash my hands. There we go. And we're going to take 1 cup of milk and pour it into a bowl. And we're going to take 2 tablespoons of flour, all-purpose flour. Because we already have salt and pepper in there, so we don't need any more. So I'm going to slowly mix. I'm going to mix this. Let me put this over here so you can see. I'm going to mix this flour into the milk before we get started, because this is going to help our creamy corn thicken up. So I need to make sure this flour, it won't have any clumps in it. And now I got that all mixed up. Now I'm going to put my corn. I buy corn. This is a 12-ounce bag of corn. The recipe calls for 10 ounce, 2 10-ounce bags. But hey, 4 ounces of corn is not going to make or break this recipe. Hello, Julie Moretti. How are you? Thanks for joining me. Hi, Stellars. Thanks for joining me. Okay, so I have 2 bags of whole kernel corn. You can get the super sweet, you can get the regular, whatever suits your fancy. I like the super sweet corn. That's just me. Now, I'm going to pour the corn in here. That's 1 bag. And, whoops, there was one left in there. I didn't want it to be lonely. Now I'm going to pour the other bag into the skillet, and then I'm going to turn the fire on. Okay? So far we have 2 tablespoons of butter. We have a cup of heavy whipping cream, and we have 1 tablespoon of sugar and 2 12-ounce bags of corn into our pot. Now I'm going to turn the fire on and turn it on medium heat, and I'm going to let that get started. And as that's going, I'm going to put on another glove, and I'm going to instead of putting on a glove, I'm going to grab my trusty tongs, and I'm going to turn my chicken. That looks good. All that pepper on there. Let me turn this way. Turn it around that way. We want the chicken cooked all the way through. There we go. Put that right there. Now, I'm going to mix my corn up. Find a spatula. I'm going to mix my corn up so that the cream and the corn get all mixed up, and the salt and the black pepper that's in here get all mixed up in the corn. I'm going to let the butter melt. And once my butter melts, I'm going to pour the milk and the flour in there so it can help it thicken up. Now, I'm going to put a lid on top of this while this butter melts and check on this chicken, make sure it is done. All right, put that right there. And my lid is over here. Put my lid on top of there and let that just simmer. Okay? Now I'm going to, where did I do my tongues? There they are. Ooh, did y'all hear that? I'm going to take my chicken and I'm going to dip the other end into the hot fire because I don't want any raw chicken residue to be on my chicken. So I'm dipping the other end in there of each one so that I won't have to worry about salmonella poisoning or anything else, or E. coli, none of that stuff. So I'm dipping it in there. There's nothing on there. Okay, we got you all nice and cooked. I'm flipping it back over. Oh, you just fell over on me, didn't you? Now, let me grab this one and dip it. So you want to dip the chicken in the oil. It's very important that you cook the whole, not just the lollipop part of it, but you need the stick part of it cooked too. I don't want you all ended up being sick. So just about a minute each into the oil should kill everything and cook whatever's left on that end. There we go. Yeah. I want to carefully do this because I don't want my crispies to come off of my chicken, and it will if you don't handle it right. Your crispies will come off of your chicken. So I don't want my crispies to come off of my chicken. So I'm dipping it in here and making sure that it is well cooked before I take it out. Okay. Y'all didn't see that, but some grease just shot out of his pan. Y'all almost saw me running. I am not a fan of hot grease. Love to cook, not a fan of hot grease. So y'all almost saw me take off away from this pot. Okay, it's almost done. Let me see. My butter is melting. I got a little bubble going on in there. It's almost time to pour our milk in there, and then we'll just let it simmer until it thickens. Quick, simple meal today. But I use this recipe sometimes, but because it takes so long, it depends on the day. Depends on how much time I have during the holidays. Sometimes I get the whole corn, the fresh corn, and I cut it off the cob, and I do what is called milking the cob, which creates the cream. But for first-time cooks, if you don't have time to do all of that, this is ready in 15 minutes. So I'm all about quick and efficient and taste good. Okay, so got my last little one. All right, I'm gonna flip it over. Now I'm going to prepare another plate with paper towels so that I can put the chicken on. Let's see. Hello, Samar. How are you? Thanks for joining me. Hello, Caitlin Taylor. Thank you for joining me. Hi, Mimi. Thanks for following me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Hi, Crystal Gail. Hi, Reevy. How are you? Crystal, the menu is lollipop lemon pepper chicken, and we have some cream style corn going on, and we're going to do some roasted broccoli. My husband and I are trying to cut carbs. Trying. So we won't eat any bread with this, which is why you don't see any on the menu. But the corn is going to be enough starch for both of us. I'm good. How are you doing? I am doing great. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now I'm going to put some paper towels on my plate so that I can take my chicken out. Let me fan this so I can take my chicken out. Please don't put your paper towel too close to the fire. We don't want a fire. Been there and done that too. Okay, as soon as I get done with this, I'm going to bring this over to you and let you see it. My lollipops. I'm so proud of my lollipops. It looks so yummy. This is one of those big cake pops. That's what it reminds me of. They're huge. Okay, come in. Last one. So I'm going to bring it over there to you and let you see. Don't burn me. I'm not playing with you. Sorry. Let me turn it all the way down. Okay. So this is my lollipop. Whoa. Y'all see that? Crispity, crunchity lollipops. Hello, KNTC. Thank you for joining me. Okay. Whoa, I almost dropped my lollipops. I have my lollipops. I'm going to stir in the milk to my corn, and then I'm going to do the rest of the lollipops. I'm going to put them on to cook, and then we will do the broccoli, and then we'll be done. Okay? I'm going to put these over here. Let me turn that off. It won't go. I want my oil to burn. Now, our corn is bubbling. So we're going to stir that. It's nice and bubbly. I'm going to stir it up. Now I'm going to take my whisk and I'm going to make sure that the flour that I just stirred in here is not stuck to the bottom. It's still, I need to make sure it's still stirred into the milk so that it will cook completely. Okay? Now, I'm going to pour this in and stir as I go because this is hot and I don't want it to clump up. Okay, so now we got that in there, and now we just wait until it starts to thicken. Okay, so while we're waiting on this to thicken, I'm gonna put the lid back on it for a little bit, and then once I get my chicken done, I will take the lid off so that it can the moisture can escape and cause it to thicken up. Let me see. Hello, Alexis. Thank you for joining me. Hi, Pat Mangeli. Thank you for joining me. Hi, Mary. Hi, Cynthia. Thank you for joining me. Hi, Nanny, Miss Monique. Thanks for joining me. Okay, so I'm going to probably need some more dip for this. So let me make it up right quick before I get started. Let me wash my hands and put on some gloves before I start dealing with this chicken. Let me put my gloves back on. And again, if you weren't here before when I said it, please, if you are cooking with gloves on your hands, don't get too close to the fire. Don't get them too close to let them get too warm because they will start to melt on you and it will burn your hands. Okay? I'm just saying. Hi, okay, Lade. I think that's how you pronounce your name. Thank you for joining me. Hi, let's see. Is it Adafor? Thanks for joining me. Now, I'm going to make some more of this mix. And y'all know me. I don't exactly conform to the measuring thing. So I'm just going to put a little bit in there since I just need a little bit more. And then I'm just going to add a little bit more of my buttermilk in here and stir. And we're going to see what's going to come out. All right. I think I'm going to need a little bit more buttermilk because it's kind of thick. I don't want it to be thick. I want it to be a little thinner than this. So we're going to add a little bit more buttermilk. And if you're joining me, I use some, if you're just joining me, I use some Louisiana crispy chicken fry. It's already seasoned, but because I wanted specifically lemon pepper, I added some Mrs. Dash lemon pepper. It's salt-free. So I didn't want to have too much salt, but I do like the lemon pepper flavoring. So we have gotten this together. Now, here we go. We're going to twist and turn our lollipop in here. Shake off the excess. And then we're going to dip it into the dry flour. Put the flour on top, twist and turn. Put some more flour on top. Shake off the excess and put it into the oil. All right. Let me turn there we go. Turn the fire back on. And there we go. Let's get some more until we get done. Get all this done. You see that? Our corn, let me turn it down. Our corn is starting to thicken up. Ooh, y'all. It's going to be some yummy goodness. I need a smell button, y'all. Can somebody, create one for me? I need a smell button. The corn is almost as thick as I like it. The cream of the corn, should I say, is almost as thick as I like it. We'll have to taste it to see if it needs more salt and pepper. I only put a little salt and pepper in here because I like to wait until the end to make sure I don't over salt it. And then if you have people with special diets at your table, you don't want it to be too salty for them to eat. You don't want to run their blood pressure up and everything like that. So I'm going to turn this all the way down and just let it simmer. Put that back over there. And let's finish our chicken. Let's get it going right quick. We'll get the rest of this chicken get it battered and into the skillet. And then we'll move on to our broccoli. So that those of you who weren't here last week and didn't see the broccoli, we're having broccoli again this week. My husband loves the roasted broccoli, so we're going to have some more broccoli this week. Now, this doesn't take long to cook. It's just the time consuming of putting everything together to get it in there right. But I promise you, it is so worth it. I promise. It is worth it. And I know Nanny Miss Monique asked me this morning, when are you going to come out with the children's cookbook? Well, Nanny Miss Monique, I promise you, I am working on the children's workbook. Hello, Laughter. Laughter attracts joy. Thank you for joining me. Hello, Aylin. How are you? Thanks for joining me. We're just putting our chicken together and getting it rolled into our flour here. I'm trying not to add any more flour to this bowl because I don't only have 3 more. There we go. Let's get it into the fire. Roll, roll, roll. Like roll, roll, roll your boat. Y'all can't tell I am a nanny at heart. Y'all hear that? That fire roasting that chicken, cooking that chicken, that grease. Just as long as it don't splash on me. Hello, Helen. Hi, Emoji Blitz. How are you? Thank you, Mary. Hi, Bashia. Shisha. Okay, I'm not going to mess up your name. Thank you for joining me. Okay. I got 2 more to go. I think we're going to make it with just enough to spare. Just enough. Shake all the excess off of there. All right, let's roll this. Get it all nice and covered. Don't skimp on your flour. It makes a good piece of crispy goodness. Yum. Got just enough room for one in the middle. And praying that it doesn't splash over. Y'all pray with me that it won't splash over. Because I need this last one to go in there. Okay? There's a clump of flour. All right. Let me turn the corn off because it is now done. I'm going to let you see it as soon as I put this piece of chicken in there. I'll let you see the corn and then we can start on the broccoli while the rest of the chicken cooks. Okay? There we go. Right in the middle. Now let me turn this one over. I got too close to the fire, y'all. That hurts. Okay. All right. I'm grabbing my toes now because that hurt. That's what goes with cooking. Sometimes you get a little too close to the fire and it will burn you. Woo. Okay. I'm done with this. So I'm going to clean a little of this mess up before we go on. Clear my counter space of the flour before we move on to our broccoli. I can't stay and work it in a messy space. All right, with that, let me take my gloves off. Put that in my garbage and grab my spoon for my corn. Let me see. Ooh, y'all see that? It's all nice and creamy and thick. Okay, so I want to see if I can do this in the spoon. Scoop up a spoon for you. Let me grab this so I will drop it in my hands. Can you all see that corn? That cream corn? It's nice and thick. Mm-hmm. You see that corn? Mm-hmm. It's gonna be good, y'all. So good. Yes. Now, put the lid back on that so it'll stay warm. Put this back over here. Now, of course, this chicken is cooking faster because the grease was already piping hot and ready to go. The grease splash, y'all. That's why I moved back. I can't do splashing grease. There we go. All right, now we're going to make up our mix for our roasted vegetables. You're going to need two tablespoons of brown sugar. And I'm going to put 4 tablespoons of soy sauce into, if I can get it out of the bowl, I'm putting 4 tablespoons of soy sauce into my bowl with my sugar. Okay, that one is out. On to the next. So we got 4 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. And the key ingredient is toasted sesame seed oil. Can you see that? Toasted sesame seed oil. This is the key ingredient. Hello, aloha. How are you? Thanks for joining me. Now we're gonna put. Okay, I see I'm gonna have to fight with this. There we go. We're gonna put 2 tablespoons of the oil into our mixture, and then we're gonna mix it up. Grab my little whisk, and we're gonna mix it up and make sure that the brown sugar has dissolved, or else it will scorch your broccoli when you put it in the oven. It will scorch it, and you want it to be roasted, not scorched. Okay. Hello, Yanni Bonnie. Thanks for joining me. How are you? Okay. I think we got it all mixed up. So I have 4 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of toasted sesame seed oil, and 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Now, I like to use, let me hurry up so my chicken won't go south on me. I like to use the frozen broccoli. I buy the flowerets and I just pour. This is a 16-ounce container of broccoli flowerets. I pour them into my bowl, just like this. And then I pour the sauce on top. Get all of it out of there. And then I put a lid on top. Now you can do the same thing if you have a huge Ziploc bag, but I like to shake it. Until it's coated. And it's gonna look like this. You see that? That's some good eating right there. And then we're gonna put it on our tray and put it in the oven for about 15 minutes on 400 degrees. Right now, I'm gonna take my other chicken out of here. Okay, you gotta toast the bottom. Remember to always dip the bottom of your lollipop chicken into the oil, because when you take the chicken off of one end, there may still be some little fragments of raw chicken on there. So you don't want to eat raw chicken. You don't want to handle the raw chicken while you're eating. So make sure you stick the bottom of your chicken, the bone part, the stick part of your lollipop, stick it down into your hot grease so that you can cook all that rawness away. You don't want to have eat raw chicken. You don't want to get sick. You know, the lollipop part of it is cooked, but the stick part, remember, you took raw meat off of there. So you want it to cook at least, a minute or so into the grease so that it can cook all the rawness, whatever raw particles are on there, so you won't get sick. Okay? There we go. So I'm going to hold these over here. And then I'm going to grab my pan and spread my broccoli out onto my pan. It's a simple, easy recipe. Even the kids like it. If you have a child that doesn't like broccoli, just put it on their plate and let them try it. Even the kids like it. It's a tasty treat, even though it's broccoli. I had to find ways to get my kids to eat when they were little, because I don't like vegetables. So I had to find a way to get them to eat. So I learned to cook vegetables in different ways. And when I found a favorite of theirs that they would eat, I would cook it more often. But I also tried other ways to cook the broccoli, or they didn't know it. One day I cooked them spaghetti squash and put some meat sauce on top of it. They had no clue that it was meat sauce. I mean, that it was spaghetti squash. They had no clue that they were eating a vegetable. To top all of that off, in my marinara meat sauce, I had ground up some spinach and some carrots and some zucchini and red and green peppers and onions and uh, let's see, what else did I have in there? Garlic. All of that I ground up into the marinara sauce. So, and then added some meat. They thought, oh, Mama, this is so good. I was like, oh, isn't it though? You want some more? Yes. Okay, so I gave them more spaghetti squash. And maybe next week I'll get a spaghetti squash and I'll show you how I cook it and how you break it up so it makes it look like spaghetti. If for those of you who don't know, but I love using spaghetti squash. I'll make it into some, you can put it, anything that you use a noodle in, like, well, not lasagna. You could probably do lasagna, a spaghetti squash lasagna if you wanted to. But anything that I use a noodle in, like the Alfredo sauce or the red sauce or the bolognese sauce, you can use the spaghetti squash in that. So take the opportunity to experiment with the spaghetti squash. Your children will probably like it. They may not know what they're eating. Is this spaghetti? Yep. I'm not lying to you. It is spaghetti. I just left the squash part off of it. So sometimes you have to find creative ways to get them to eat. But they will eat. I promise you. Okay, I'm going to turn this fire off under this chicken. So we have our corn done. We'll have our chicken done. Now all we need to do is roast our broccoli, and we're done. Okay. Now I'm going to carefully bring this over here to you all so you can see the lollipop chicken. Hello, let's see. I can't read your name. Isabella? I can't read the first part of your name. Isabella Santos. I can't read the first part of your name. But anyway, here is the lollipop chicken. Hello, Quista Warwick. How are you? Sounds good to me. Hi, Kathy. Hi, T. Marie. How are you? Thanks for joining me. Thank you for sharing my live, T. Marie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see. Hey, everybody on here. Happy Sunday. Yes, happy Sunday to you too. Sounds good to me. Hi, Grammy Max. How are you? This is the lollipop chicken that I am serving with the cream style corn. I showed you all the cream style corn. Okay, now let me grab my pan. When I roast vegetables in the oven, I hate cleaning up. I don't know about you all, but I hate to clean up after I get done. That's why I keep my garbage bag open over here. So everything that's over here, I just toss it in the garbage and it's done. And I have a few dishes to clean up. But when I roast vegetables in the oven, I always line my pan with foil. Hi, Miss Nisi. Thanks for joining me. Hello, Mrs. CCB. How are you? The trick to lining your pan. You see this side? This is considered the dull side of the pan. This side right here, that is the shiny side. Put the shiny side of your foil down to your pan. So the shiny side down and the heat will reflect downward. If you put the shiny side up, it's just like being at the beach with one of those it looks aluminum, those sunscreen things, and you're trying to hurry up and get tanned, the same reflection happens with your aluminum foil. If you put the shiny side up, it's going to burn the bottom of your food before it gets done on top. So, quick tip, put the shiny side down, okay? And it cooks more evenly. So, we already shook up. I'm going to shake it again. Make sure it gets evenly coated. Now, I like the frozen broccoli. You can also do this with fresh broccoli. I like the frozen broccoli because I hate cutting the broccoli off the stalk. I'm not good at that. So I know my limitations, and if it makes it easier and quicker for me to get it to the table, all more the better. So I put 4 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of toasted sesame oil, and 2 tablespoons of brown sugar in a bowl. Stirred it up, dissolved the sugar, poured it over the broccoli in the bowl, shaking it up. And this is what it looks like after shaking it up. Now I'm just going to pour it on my pan. And I'm going to take a fork and I'm going to, or a spoon, and I'm just going to even it out, pour it so that each piece of broccoli will have the opportunity to get the same amount of heat as the other one. And I cook big meals. It's just me and my husband here, but I cook the meals on Sunday so I can portion size them and put them in my freezer. I have little portion size containers. I was trying to see if I have one up there. I don't have one up there. But I have portion size containers that I use, and I will put the corn, the broccoli, and the chicken in the portion size containers and put them in the freezer. So me being busy, because I work during the day and overnight, I just, for lunch, just grab one, put it in my lunchbox, out the door. Come in the evening, while I'm taking a shower or whatever, doing whatever, I defrost one in the microwave. So by the time I get done showering, voila, dinner's ready. I don't have to worry about cooking. Simple, simple, simple. That's why I like cooking, batch cooking on Sundays. And most of the time I end up with 7 or 8 meals per batch. This will make, I'll say, good 4 or 5 meals for me and my husband. But we also have the meal that I made last week with the pork and the scalloped potatoes and the broccoli. I still have some more of that in the freezer. So we have a variety of things. We have like 4 or 5 different meals that we can choose from. Now, next week, I probably won't batch cook. I'll do the spaghetti squash for you all because we have a lot of meals in the freezer and I don't want them to go to waste. So we'll just kind of eat on them all week and eat them all on them all next week. And so maybe depends on how many in the freezer as to what I cook. So that's how I do it. Now I'm going to put your broccoli in the oven on 400 degrees for about 15 minutes. And it should be good and roasted. You don't want it to get, I don't like my broccoli to get too soft because when I reheat it in the microwave, it's going to get soft again. And I don't want, it's going to get softer. I shouldn't say soft again. It's going to get softer and I don't want to be eating soggy broccoli. So I put it in there for 15 minutes. If you're going to eat it the same day, I would say add an extra 5 minutes, 20 minutes. So it'll get perfect for you. Now, thank you for joining me, Womanhood. That is all I have for you today. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you for sharing my videos, for following me. If you all could tap the like button, let me know if you like what I cooked or should I cook something better. If you have any suggestions for me to cook, leave that in the comments too. Wait a minute, hold on. Okay, I smelled oil. I'm just making sure I turned it off. I didn't want the whole house to get all smoky from the oil. So if you're watching, double tap the screen on TikTok. And if you hit the like button down at the bottom on Instagram, let me know if you like what I cooked. Also on Facebook, if you liked it, hit the like button. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I surely appreciate it. And I will see you all on Tuesday. Tuesday on our baby Q&A, I will be talking about safe words. Want to know what safe word is? Come Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube and find out what is safe word. It does have to do with your children. Come and find out. Thank you all again, and I will see you all on Tuesday. If not Tuesday, I'll see you next Sunday, where we'll be cooking some spaghetti squash along with something else. So I'll see you then. You'll have a great weekend, a great week, and do something for yourself, some self-love, self-care for yourself on purpose. Okay? On purpose. Not just happenstance. I just happen to be here and got a back rub, or I just happen to do it on purpose. Take care of you. Okay? I will see you all next week. You all have a great week. Bye-bye now.